What's going on, guys? Just wanted to hop on here and make a quick video regarding how I like to lubricate my rifles, in this case being an AR-15. The reason why is because I've been seeing a lot of times on the internet that where people would kind of show off, how they like to lubricate their guns, and that's fine. They've been doing it, they have their way, and that's cool with me, just like I have my way, right? But I feel like no one has really touched on the way that I do things. And, at the end of the day, we're really just adding lube on a rifle, so it's not like rocket science, right? We're not overthinking these things, but I just wanted to hop on here and kind of give you guys my perspective and my take on how to lubricate an AR-15. So I went to the range today, and haven't been there in a long time, but I was just kind of confirming zeros and zeroing a few guns and function testing, whatnot, and came home. I noticed that this rifle specifically was pretty dry. So I decided to take this opportunity to show off how I like to lube my AR-15s. The way I think of things, right? And again, I'm not an armor, I'm not a gunsmith, so I'm not truly an expert or not really qualified to be speaking on these things. But this is just a way that I've learned over many years and experience of shooting. And one thing that I hated the most was just having a huge mess within this rifle, right? So when I used to shoot, my yearly qualification with the Air Force, I would literally have CADM guys come with a big bottle, a spray bottle of CLP, and they would just squirt it all in there, and it's all leaking out of the magazine well, it's leaking out of my lower, it's just everywhere, and it's a huge mess. And every single shot I would take, my glasses would get CLP, I'd get the CLP in my face. And as much as people say these things, this CLP or whatever lubricant they're using is not toxic, I still don't want it on my face. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh, it's not toxic, I'm gonna throw it in my food, right? I just don't, especially when you mix it too with carbon, when you mix it with just like combustion and like the lead and everything that's in these rifles, I don't want that in my face. So the first thing I'll do is I'll go ahead and lock the bolt to the rear. The reason why we use lubrication in rifles, or in any gun really, the reason why we use lubrication at all is for friction, to reduce friction and reduce wear and tear. Now, I've ran AR-15s super dry, and I've ran them extremely wet, and at the end of the day, it all works. Because I think the way that these things are designed, they're gonna work. I know they prefer to be ran wet, but yeah, like I said, just from my experience, right? So when you look at the BCG, the bolt carrier group, it's round. But for the ease of the video and for you guys to understand, let's think of the BCG as a square, and the square has 4 different points. Those 4 points have to ride in the upper in a channel, right? It rides somewhere. It doesn't just float in space, it rides in the upper receiver. With that, those are the points where we need to add lubrication to. So when I lock my bolt to the rear and you look into your upper receiver, you'll notice that there's a little groove at one bottom corner of it. Look at the top, there's another groove at the top corner of it, and it's the reverse for the other side that you can't see from this angle. But all I'll literally do is I'll take some lubrication, add a drop to each of those grooves, run the bolt, right? Run the bolt, and that's that for those 2 grooves or channels. Next thing, I'll keep the bolt closed, and I'll go ahead and just put a drop of lube right where the BCG meets the upper receiver, and I'll let the lube kind of flow in there. And then again, I'll do it for the top and bottom, because again, those 4 points. Rack the bolt a few times and spread the lubrication where it wants to go to. And what I see happening here is the bolt carrier group will actually pick up the lube and kind of spread it to where the friction points are. Because if we just put lube on the bolt carrier group, or we put lube on the upper receiver where nothing touches it, and we rack the bolt or we shoot the gun, nothing's gonna happen to that lube. Nothing is grabbing the lube because there's no friction there, it's in free space. So we wanna add lubrication to where the friction points are. So yeah, that's that. Now, I see a lot of guys, they then would put lubrication in the gas vents in the actual bolt carrier group. If that's what you guys like to do, doesn't hurt, I don't mind it one bit, like doesn't affect me at all. I don't really care. But that's the reason why I bring that up, is because I used to do that. I used to put lubrication in the gas vents. And what would happen is, sure, you're gonna get lube on the bolt itself, but what's gonna happen is you're gonna be blowing a bunch of lube out as well. And that's when you get lube in the eyes, lube in the face. So to sort of minimize, and the reason why I do this is because I want to minimize the amount of lube I put in the gun. Not only because this stuff can be costly when you use a lot of it. In this case, Slip 2000. I've been using this stuff religiously for a while now, and granted, this stuff works. I've tested it in inclement weather from pouring rain down to below freezing temperatures, and this stuff performs. So I trust this stuff, but I've used a bunch of other stuff too, and I noticed that like with the lower end stuff, you have to apply more often. And you know, as little as these little bottles cost, over time that stuff adds up. And if I can maximize some sort of life, whether it be the lubrication or the rifle itself, I'm gonna do that. I opt to stop putting lubrication in the actual vent holes, but I'll actually kind of pull the bolt a little slightly back just to expose the bolt a little bit, and then I'll put lube on the bolt itself and just kind of work it a little bit there. The next thing that doesn't really matter too much to me, but it's your charging handle, right? And like a lot of these, pretty much all of this in the gun itself will actually tell you where it wants lube, and you can see where it wants lube by just looking at it. So if I took this thing apart, I would be able to see discoloration of where the wear points are. That's just a byproduct of wear. That's the wear and tear. So you can see that, you'd be like, okay, there's wear going on right here, I can throw lube on it. So for this example, I noticed that I'm getting a lot of wear at the top part of my charging handle. So I would just put some lube either at the top of the charging handle itself, or I can go at it from the magazine well, look directly down, drop a few drops into the upper receiver in the groove where the charging handle actually rides back and forth, and that's that. So the reason why I'm not putting on lube right now is because I've done this already, but I just kind of wanted to go over the steps that I do it and why I do it. But yeah, hope this video kind of helps you guys out and kind of changes or gets the gears going on how to actually lubricate these things. And also, I have a discount code for Slip 2000 if you guys are interested in trying some of this stuff out. It's TL20. Like I said, this stuff has been working flawlessly for me, using it in my pistols and rifles, and it's just been good stuff. So anyways, guys, that is how I lubricate my AR-15. So I hope this kind of gets, like I said, your gears turning a little bit and helps you guys out somewhere.